I did my first gig as an influencer when I was in primary. My mom used to make little cupcakes a long time ago. Yeah. So she would tell me, I want you to sell these things at school. So my role was to convince people that these cupcakes, you haven't seen them anywhere. Right. These are the finest cupcakes in the world. Yeah. My friend, there's stuff at the canteen, but that is nothing. Those are made in factories. You know, this is made with love. I joined Twitter in 2009. Some people were not yet born, you know. But I joined it at a time when, you know, it was just this fun place where you go to just have a good time and just talk to people in the US. And because it was mostly a US based thing, right? And you bump into one or two Ugandans and like, hey, you're here. At the time I did a gig for Serena Hotel, and they flew us around East Africa. They flew us to Kigali. They flew us to Tanzania. So let me tell you, you're doing a gig where you're being paid and you're being flown around. Who wouldn't want this? Yeah. It's like, you could do it for free, for crying out loud. Two things can be right. Yeah. The country can be very beautiful. The government can be horrible. Those two things, it's possible. Yeah. They can be there at the same time, right? But also, people need to disassociate themselves from this belief that if I say something bad about the country, it means that I hate the country. No, it just means you see a pothole. Yeah. That's a bloody pothole. You can see it right there, right? What's that sugarcoat about that? It's right there. People have the assumption that since this is what is trending, since everybody is dancing on TikTok, I have to dance on TikTok, right? That's why the saturation comes in. You're like, why is everybody dancing? Why is everybody dancing? But must everybody dance? As a person, one of the things you have is your word, you know, and your word it should really be your bond, right? That if you promise your followers that I will always share with you genuine content, share genuine content, right? And that means if a client comes to you and they're selling an ingenuine product, say no. The person whose brand is on the line when you're selling this product is actually not the other brand, it's you.
Welcome back to Originaires. This is a space where we talk to people who are experts in their specific fields. If you are new to this channel, please take some time to subscribe. Maybe like the video if you like this video, and take just 2 minutes. There's a little form in the description. Just want to know what you think about this show and who you would like to see specifically next time. Today, we are going to talk all things social media with someone who has been on social media for a long time, Beewol. Yeah. Or as it officially is, Bernard of Oliver.
Well, yeah, Beewol. I'm comfortable with Beewol, yeah. But also when you say we're going to talk about all things social media, I feel like that reduces it a bit because, because there's a lot more around the digital space, for lack of another word. Yeah. So, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you for
glad to have you.
For having me. I love to share my story and also to inspire people to be better online. Yeah.
Before we talk about the online space, Touch FM, do you still listen to rock music?
Okay, now I don't know. For this is nostalgic. For people who probably have known me for a while, a long time ago, I used to work on radio, like in the 50s. I used to work on radio. Touch FM, it was an almost exclusively rock radio station. And part of why I loved it is because I love rock. Rock is my first love. It's the genre of music that completes me. Yeah. Sort of, it understands me. It speaks to when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm excited, when I'm rich, when I'm poor, when I'm down, when I'm up, and it's really my thing. So when you mention Touch FM, I almost get goosebumps because.
No, let me tell you, me and my friends, we used to have those little illegal radios.
Oh, those scanners.
Yes, and like apart from like top 40 and what is on the charts, Touch FM was where me and my friends used to go to listen to good music.
You had good taste.
Oh yeah,
I can see.
Absolutely. I don't even know if like people still even play rock nowadays because I'm very still traditional.
No, we do. Come on.
Wait, who are the new people?
I mean, what do you mean? Everybody listens to rock. At least
I'm
cool
saying
people
like
do.
the new bands. Like I'm still stuck on like Green Day and All American Rejects and all those things.
You're not the only one. Mm-hmm. A lot of the rock music that we fell in love with from about 98, 99 and thereabout till about 2000 and say what 12, 13, 14 or thereabout. the rock music that we listened to at the time stayed close to our hearts.
Yeah.
And a lot of it defines how we understand and appreciate rock even today.
Yeah.
But for some of us, because we love the genre a lot, we've been exploring left, right, and center. There's a lot of new material out there. And for anybody who's looking to venture into listening to and loving rock, I can guarantee that there's lots of sub-genres that will make you feel at home. It's a beautiful thing.
Should I put you on the spot? What's your top 5?
Bands or songs?
Songs.
Top 5, in no particular order. Highway to Hell, AC/DC, obviously. Save Tonight, Eagle Eye Cherry. Californication, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Leave out all the rest, Linkin Park. And what do I slide in there? Perhaps let me see. Something from Limp Bizkit maybe, or Rolling Stones. I'm a very old rock kind of person.
I was waiting to hear Welcome to the Black Parade.
Oh yeah.
That's the rock anthem.
Yeah, well, if you had pushed for top 10, it probably would be in there. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, when you put me on the spot, I feel like there's some Queen that should be in there, Bohemian Rhapsody. I feel like there should be some Nickelback perhaps in there. There should be some Niles Buckley, so there's a lot. Yeah. But it's a beautiful genre. You're making me feel things I shouldn't be feeling now.
I mean, I just really need to know how far back we got into this situation. But
wow.
Yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, I've been very nostalgic about Twitter when it was still Twitter. Do you feel similarly?
I don't know if the word is nostalgia, because I have gravitated towards it's now called X. Yeah. I don't call it X. I still call it Twitter, right? I'm one of those traditionalists who sort of finds embracing change a bit of a challenge. But Twitter has come a long way. When I joined Twitter in 2009, some people were not yet born, But I joined it at a time when, it was just this fun place where you got to just have a good time and just talk to people in the US. And because it was mostly a US-based thing, right? And you'd bump into one or two Ugandans and like, hey, you're here. Why? So it wasn't a big deal, to be honest, at the time. It wasn't a big deal. It was just another outlet. Yeah. The big deals at the time were the high fives, the MySpace, the Yahoo chats. Those were the big deals. And Twitter was just this new cool thing that had come. Few of us were on it, and then it started growing. And then it became a revolution, right? And everybody got on it. And it was a bit of a middle finger to Facebook at the time, because Facebook was where friends and family and classmates were, and everybody knew you. Twitter, you could be anonymous, right? Twitter, you could be a random person that nobody knew, and you could share your opinions. You couldn't do that on Facebook. So Twitter gave us an outlet, and it gave us an opportunity to share a bit of certain honest truths, which we didn't want family and friends to see on Facebook, and then, it became crowded. People came from left, right, and center. Then, an OB is there. Then, an old girlfriend is there. Then, there's all these. So it became this crowded place. And eventually it morphed into the space where now people were having intellectual debate and discussing all these important subjects and whatnot. And then the gossip came in there, did you hear this? Do this? Did you hear that? In politics, then it became a marketplace. And it's now sort of a marketplace. It really is a marketplace where you get into the market, there's somebody selling tomatoes here, there's somebody selling clothes there, there's somebody preaching there on a loudspeaker, there's somebody here who's playing cards, there's somebody there with a billboard. Like there's everything happening. It's now become this marketplace.
I think the biggest thing that I miss about old Twitter was like the limited number of characters that you had to have. So you had to edit yourself and say what you need to say. Yeah.
People do not understand how a character limit teaches you certain things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It teaches you summary. It teaches you to be concise and precise. But most importantly, it teaches you to say what needs to be said. Leave out all the rest. Like, if there is content that you shouldn't share, keep it to yourself. Share only important content.
Yeah.
And I mean, the character limit thing for Twitter at the time, what it also helped us with was we're getting into an era where, I mean, for us who love to read, we have no problem reading as many things, but there are certain people who didn't really love to read that much text. Yeah. So the character limit allowed them to, just skim through things and like, okay, I see what you're saying. And then like, it was a very, very easy way to share your thoughts and whatnot. But obviously, that was discarded, and then the character limit was increased.
And it's now almost
we really
unlimited.
Have come a long way. Yeah, and then also, this is something people don't remember about Twitter. There was a time, a long time ago, when we used to celebrate milestones, right? Now I have 100 followers, and you celebrate, and you're like, shout out to my 100 follower. Then you make 150, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I 150. Oh my! Then you get to 1,000, you're like, what? All these 1,000 people, and then but now we have 200,000, 5 million followers, and it's no big deal.
I mean, I think at that point it's very obvious when you're seeing 1,000 people following you versus now where it's like you don't even know how many of those are bots,
right?
Or like like
oh my God, yes. Because then it was a very personal sort of platform. That if I have 70 followers today, tomorrow if I wake up and there are 72 followers, I want to check on those two. Who are these people? I want to say hi, like, hey, hi, and thank you for following me. What are the things you like? Let's have a bit of back and forth. My name is Beewol. What's your name? What do you do? So you sort of knew everybody.
Yeah.
Today you can't really know 200,000 people.
Yeah, you really can't.
Yeah, you really can't. Some of them are bots, as you said. Others are people who abandoned the platform. Some died. Right. It's very impersonal now. It's just get there, say your things.
And now, like, with the very direct possibility of monetizing, and you're paying for it, premium, and it's like as many views as you can get is how much you will get in your pocket.
Yeah, people are hungry for that. People are really hungry for that.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it is what it is, man.
Can you tell the difference between someone who is like genuinely crashing out versus trying to like get views?
I mean, in terms of the content people put out there, I don't want to say it's easy to tell, but I can tell, right? You can tell somebody who's speaking, quote unquote, from their heart. And you can tell somebody who's speaking because they want followers and likes and, retweets and whatever. Because people who speak from their heart, there's a certain consistency about them, right? That if somebody speaks something that is true and honest to them, it's easier for them to say it over and over and over, right? But if somebody speaks something that they want other people to sort of pay attention to, there's an inconsistency. Because today, if people want you to pay attention to, say, a white door, you're going to talk about a white door. Tomorrow, if people want you to talk about a gardening tool, you're going to talk about a gardening tool. Another day, if people want you to talk about flowers, you're going to talk about flowers. So there's an inconsistency. But a person who speaks from their heart, if what they love are these flowers, every day they will talk about those flowers. And that's it. It's as easy as that. So you can sort of tell the person who speaks from, their insides, their heart, and the person who just sort of wants to get followers, and where the crowd goes is where they go. What trends is what they jump on. It's easy to identify such people. Yeah.
Like I got very, should I say, disenfranchised when it comes to some of the spaces online, like maybe TikTok. I love a vlog. I love to see people doing fun things, going places and whatever. But then once I get into the vlog and I'm really hooked and I'm like, wow, this is so nice and it's well produced. And then you're tagging. You're like, oh, so I did my hair at this so-and-so salon. And like you say it in full. Full that you know that, oh, this is a color.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you see, for me, I'm really impressed by people who are able to infuse brand endorsements in their everyday life, because I feel like that's what content creation, especially for the influencer, should be.
Yeah.
That live your life and then just bring these brands along as you live your life. Don't live their life.
But that's the thing. What
live
happens?
your life.
What
If you're the kind of
when...
person who does makeup, right? Who does those get ready with me videos, right? If you're that kind of person, and you want to plug in a shoe, right, or a shawl, or some earrings or whatever, I feel like it's an easy sell if that is who you are. If when you wake up in the morning, you're like, guys, okay, I'm up, get ready with me. Today we're feeling a bit low, so we're going to wear something gray. And because the weather is not, I'm not so certain about the weather, I have this throw on. But then there are these earrings. I picked these earrings from. So it's easy for me to follow the story because that is who you are. Now, if Beewol has never done Get Ready With Me videos, right?
And then today.
And then on this random day,
you're like showing your lotions.
Like, I'm showing my lotions, like,
your perfumes.
Bro, come on. Like, So I quite like content creators who are natural about their content, who live their life and they just bring products along with
Here's
them.
The thing, there's that, but then there's like, you have, if someone goes through your content, you've gone to like 5 or 6, 7 different salons. And it's like, oh, who is your regular? Like, where is your actual?
I get you. But look at it this way. If I'm a fashionable person, right? If I'm a fashionable person and I'm always around good-looking things, I want to see attires, I want to see shoes, I want to see, makeup, I want to see outfits. The chances that I will bring along a number of fashion-related products are high. Some of them could be paid for. Some of them could just be me saying, you know what, I'm going to this flea market. I want to find something that impresses me. So walk with me through this flea market. Let's see if we can find some nice pair of jeans. And that has nothing to do with the plug. I'm just taking you on my journey, right? So if I do that today and another day and another day and another day and another day, I become the person who's fashion forward, who's always talking about fashion. So it's easy to say, you know what, I was moving and then I saw this salon, I saw some interesting hair. And I walked in to see what kind of hair they're doing. And turns out you can get this hair for this much. Turns out, for me, honestly, I would rather a content creator who's consistent in that sort of, if they love going to salons, if like there's a babe I'm, let's say, paying for salon for, and she says, and I want to surprise her, right? I'm going to come to this person's page and go through their stuff and be like, so which salons does this babe go to? What are the prices? What are they? And try to reconcile with what my babe wants or the person I'm trying to surprise. What kind of hair does she like doing? And so you become a go-to.
Right.
You become, I love that consistency. I love to see somebody see it through, even whether you're paid or you're not paid. Let me see you live the life.
Okay, now that you put it that way, because like I genuinely go to some creators on TikTok to look for new restaurants. Like the restaurant
and you trust you will find something interesting from a restaurant.
And then they show the menu and everything.
There's a babe on TikTok who does reviews quite a lot. And she's done a lot of work for a number of restaurants and whatever. I love her content because so I know that if I want to eat out and I'm not sure where I want to go, I'm going to go to her page and just look through what has she been doing this last week. What are the cool places? What eat out places are good for, say, 2 people or for 10 people? A good setting, good view, nice menu, affordable things. Like so in my mind, I know that anything to do with food, that's the person I'm going to go to. Imagine that was there for fashion, for books, for movies, for gadgets, if everybody did that, that would be richer. In my opinion, that would be, I know that I'm coming to you and I can trust the information you're giving me. I can trust that this person has been to several restaurants, so they probably know which restaurants have quicker service, which restaurants have valet parking, which restaurants have, an open sort of setting, that kind of stuff. So I like that.
Yeah, but we were talking about it earlier, how that is kind of the harder road when it comes to social media.
Oh my goodness. It is so hard because when you begin creating content and you say, I'm a content creator who is going to focus on, let's say I'm going to focus on juice. When you're starting out, you love juice. You're excited about, making juice and stuff like that. And you think to yourself, after doing 2, 3, 4 videos of juice, what else am I going to do? Right? So you in your mind, you have this worry. You're like, what else am I going to do? But I can guarantee that as a person who loves that product, there's 1,000 ways you want to talk about it that nobody else can. Only you can. And those 1,000 ways can be broken into different little clips and videos and, all these little things. And when you do it consistently, obviously, as we said, the early days of beginning your craft as a consistent content creator are tough. They're very lonely. They're very sad and painful and very poor. Because nobody's paying you to create content about juice. What the hell? But in a year's time, when you've done this content over and over, somebody's going to be like, I'm opening a juice bar. Who's the right influencer?
Right. You're the only one.
Like, you are alone. You're going to enjoy that money alone.
Yes.
You see that? Right? And or somebody says, I want to start importing juices. Who are they going to talk to? Obviously, it's you. So you have to sort of allow yourself to feel that pain for some time. And that cuts across almost every industry, that there is usually no gain without pain. Patience is a virtue that you have got to embrace and painfully learn to sort of make it a part of your life. That keep consistent, keep at it. A time will come when the floodgates of money open. And once they open, they never shut. Yeah. So it's painful, but you got to keep at it. Yeah.
So that means starting out social media, probably don't quit your day job.
Yeah. Not even probably. Absolutely keep your day job. If anything, work hard at your day job. Get a rise, get a pay rise, so you can buy equipment, right? Make sure that your day job pays the bills. It pays the bills. It keeps you alive. It keeps you sane. It puts clothes on your back, feeds you, does all these things for you. And then this thing you're doing on social media, let it be your passion project. And the passion project, the thing about passion projects is don't expect to break the bank from a passion project. Absolutely not. At least not in the start. Don't expect to become the richest person and build an arcade from a passion project. Absolutely not. Because passion projects are normally things you love so much, you're willing to sacrifice a lot more for this thing. So you get your salary, you get your good salary as a bank teller, as a shop attendant, as, a manager somewhere. And then you go home, you buy your stand, you have your tripod, you have your microphone, you have your camera, and you start recording fun videos that you love, stuff that you absolutely love, stuff you will do without being paid for. My advice to people, my trick normally is, if you're willing to do something and not get paid for it, when the time comes for you to get paid, the payment will be a huge bonus. And it won't make you lose sleep, and you can determine how much you want to get paid. Because it doesn't change anything, right? I love doing this content. So whether you pay me or you don't, I'm going to do it, right? If you want to be a part of my content, you have to do it my way, by my terms, with my budget. It becomes easy. But if this is your daily bread, everything that is thrown at you, you're going to take it because you can't afford to not have money. So don't quit your day job. I would really, really don't quit your day job. The irony, though, is I quit my day job a long time ago. To solely pursue, this digital media thing. But part of why I was able to do that is because I had taken myself through a very lengthy period of just sort of growing and learning and enriching my knowledge base, my wisdom, my experience. And also I am lucky that when I started out, there weren't too many of us. And a lot of my colleagues at the time fell off and they were like, me this thing, let me chill it. Let me go and do banking. Me this thing, let me chill it. So I sort of stayed the course, right? And so I became a reference point for very many people. That's the benefit I had. And so it was easy for me to quit my day job and say, you know what, I'm going to do this thing 24/7, right? And I embraced it. And money started coming, right? Money started coming. When the money starts coming, as I said, it doesn't stop. But also when it starts coming on your terms, it becomes easier for you to put your foot down and say, this one I like, that one I don't like, this gig I'll do, that one I won't do. It doesn't mean you're a rich person. It just means you want to do things that make you comfortable, things that are easy to do. There are gigs you do, and in your mind, you're like, this is child's play. Like, I could do this for free. Like, because I love this thing. I love this thing. I could do it for free, but I'm being paid. And those are the gigs you want. You want gigs that give you satisfaction, give you peace of mind, where you sit back and you're like, oh my God, I love this. Like, there's a time I did a gig for Serena Hotel, and they flew us around East Africa. They flew us to Kigali. They flew us to Tanzania. Now there's a Serena establishment in Tanzania that is there in southern Tanzania, somewhere in a game reserve, Selu Game Reserve, very, very far there. It's open half the year. And half the year it's not open because, one, you have to book like years in advance. Right. But then also it's in a place that is it's a very strange place. For a certain part of the year, it's inaccessible because it rains and you can't access it. And then the other part of the year, you can access it via plane, like via there's a little chartered flight you must take. So let me tell you, you're doing a gig where you're being paid and you're being flown around. Who wouldn't want this? Yeah, absolutely. This like, you could do it for free, for crying out loud, right? But the only way you get through that is by saying, okay, so I love to travel, right? So on certain days, I'll travel on my own bill and go to a place and tell a story. Right. No one has paid me, but I want to go and experience places and tell a story. Travel to Malindi and tell a story. No one has paid you on your own budget. Travel to Cairo, tell a story. No one has paid you. So tomorrow when Ethiopian Airlines comes or Uganda Airlines or whatever, and they want you, it's easy. You see, so that's how you sort of become this person who does things that you love, and you're paid to do the thing you love. Yeah. You know.
Do you remember your first sale?
My first gig. By the way, my first gig, I did my first gig as an influencer when I was in primary. Oh. Fun story, yeah.
Wait.
My mom, a long time ago, actually, my mom used to make little cupcakes a long time ago. Okay. So she would tell me, I want you to sell these things at school. So my role was to convince people that these cupcakes, you haven't seen them anywhere. Right. These are the finest cupcakes in the world. Yeah. My friend, there's stuff at the canteen, but that is nothing. Those are made in factories. You know, this is made with love. This is made in a home, and this is made as we are singing music. You want this cupcake, you know. Yeah, so this was a long time ago. And then in primary, when I was in Bad Valley, I used to also do a bit of influencer work for fights. Okay. Yeah. The thing about a primary school kid is they have a lot of energy. They're bustling with energy. So we used to have fights in school between Bad Valley kids and Buganda Road kids. Okay. So people used to pay 200 shillings to watch the fight. The fighters would earn 500 shillings each after the bout, but everybody would pay 200. So my role was to promote the fight in school and tell them, by the way, that kid was coming from Boogie Road. That guy beat a cook. So you guys need to watch this shit. That was my role back at the time. So my influencer work has started. It started a long time ago. Way before.
Yeah. So you slid in and it was just very natural for you by that time.
It was smooth. Eventually, when I joined high school, I used to do letter writing. And guys, if you want to talk to your babe, I've come a long way. Because I'm a storyteller, I want to sell a story to you, right? And that's how I think content creation should be. You take people on a journey of whatever product, whatever service. You don't just throw it at them. If you're selling a mobile phone, right? You don't want to just say the phone has these specifications, this is how much it costs, this is where you can get it. Take them through a story. Tell them, I've been looking for a gadget to create content with, right? And because I know that every time I look in the mirror, I see that person on the other side, and they're maybe not that good looking, right? So I want a phone that can make me, like I can look at it and be like, I like this person I see. And this phone kind of helps me to look a bit good. Sell a story. It's easier for somebody out there to be like, I can relate with this guy.
Rather than looking at the specs and stuff like that.
So storytelling is a very important part of content creation.
Do you think like influencer culture kind of revolutionized marketing? Because like it wasn't something that brands, companies used to do before. They were very much like traditional media, TV, radio, magazines.
To be fair, I think the influencer marketing has been around for a very long time. Honestly, very, very long time. From back in the 80s, right? Michael Jordan has this shoe, right? And every kid around the world is like, I need that Air Jordan.
Right.
I need that Air Jordan, right? Or Michael Jackson is in a Pepsi ad, right? And every kid is like, I need to moonwalk while holding a Pepsi. I need this, Or there's that Michael Power advert where there's that Guinness thing where, you've got the power and when you come of age, you're like, I need to be that person, right? Yeah. So the influencer marketing has been around for a while. It's just that it wasn't, because there was no internet, right? It was done on traditional media, on TV, on billboards, on newspapers. Yeah. It wasn't as explosive or as viral as it is today. Even
with those spaces where it's like this very big figure who is, really revered. I mean, Michael Jackson was, a force of his own. Yeah. But when you look at like influencers and it's like you're tapping into someone's friend group, and you're like, this person and their internet friends will mess with your product. And it's like, it's very much like word of mouth, but like on that very personal level, I feel like.
Yes, it is. But I also think there's a bit of a misconception around what perhaps an influencer is, right? An influencer is not necessarily somebody who makes you buy a product or makes you buy a service. An influencer is just somebody who makes you consider or think about something, right? Because an influencer is not necessarily a salesperson. A salesperson drives the sale. At the end of the day, makes you pay the money to purchase the item. An influencer softens your opinion on that product or service. So tomorrow, when you have options, you're thinking, this guy, I think let me buy this thing. Because the word itself is influence. They influence you, right? They don't force you, they don't push you to, they influence you, they sort of influence your opinion about certain things. And the way people now use their audiences is it has sort of gravitated away from what an influencer ideally is supposed to be. Because an influencer is supposed to tell you, look, there is this product here, I love it. And the reason why I love it is because of A, B, C, D. And I use it, and it's my thing. I like it. And then leave it there. Now you make the decision whether you want it on your own, right? But having gotten information from me telling you that, by the way, I use this phone, and the reasons why I use it, A, B, C, D. Now you on that end, when you go out there and you're looking for options, you're thinking in your mind, this guy, Beewol said he liked this one. Let me see. That alone is enough, because you're experiencing the product, to see whether the things I say are true, right? The thing about using followers and whatnot is people forget that you can have 100,000 followers, right? And fail to actually make people buy into a product.
Absolutely.
Takes me back to the storytelling. If you're a poor storyteller, people can see through this influencer work you're doing. They know you're selling a product. They know. People are not dumb. They know. But they need to feel like you're taking them on a journey. Of, okay, for you, we know you're paid to do this thing, but give us your reasons. For you as you, why do you like this thing? And that's what influencer work is supposed to be. You don't tell people buy this thing or sell this thing or go here or do. No, you're just telling them, me, I love this thing.
And also, have you found limitations and stuff like that?
Yes, and exactly. And also in using it, by the way, I found an issue here. So when you buy, check out, try this, ask them about this. Like, take them on a humane journey. Yeah, don't look at them like they're people who you're selling an item to, because that's really not it.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like people or influencers, content creators get into a very odd position where they have been cut this check and they feel odd speaking a different way about it, even if they feel differently.
To be fair, I understand that, right? And I have over time worked so hard to be in a position where if a client approaches me and they say they want me to do a gig, the first conversation I have with them is, first tell me what shortcomings there are with this product. I want to know. I don't want to be, I don't want to be blindsided. Tell me what shortcomings there are. What challenges are there with this? Like, honest. Because I don't want to be the person who's selling a product and there's somebody in the comments who knows it better than me. They're like, do you know that you're lying? Do you know that this thing doesn't work? I would hate to be that person. So I feel like very many content creators do not engage in that manner because you don't want to lose the gig. But do you know how much respect you get from a client when you ask them, tell me the bad things about this product? You get a lot more respect. And then B, you command a higher paycheck because they're like, but this guy knows his shit. This guy knows, he's not just going to go and tell people buy. He's going to give them, he's going to tell them a story that, by the way, when you get to this point, this thing heats up. So you need to use it below this temp. Like, give them the actual facts. And I think why influencers or content creators need to ask tougher questions of brands is because the person whose brand is on the line when you're selling this product is actually not the other brand. It's you. Absolutely. It's you. The other brand, they're using you, right? But your audience doesn't know that brand. Your audience knows you. They know you. So if you come and sell this product and it's a shitty product, it's a poor product, the person they are going to squeeze is you, not the other brand. They'll be like, but Beewol, what is this you are selling to us? Man, what? And at the end of the day, that does your brand damage. So you're better off from the very beginning finding out that this wig you're selling, what are there challenges with this wig? Like, why is it that expensive? What exactly is that? So tomorrow when you're selling, you're telling people, by the me, I have bought wigs. There's this one of 300K. There's one of 800K. There's this one of 1.2. This one, get it like for a wedding because you're going to wed once. Get it like for a very, very special occasion. And these ones are very rare. Give them an honest truth, but having given them options, right? If you don't get that information, my friend, you're doing your followers a disservice. You're lying to them, and you don't want that.
There's the scenario where someone is, let's say, gifted with a gab and they are talking and people love their opinions and they're very, that type of person. Now they get into a space where they are earning very, very good money from places that might need them not to give all their opinions. Let's put it that way. How does one navigate? Do you say no to that generational wealth? Or
look, you have to, as a human being, you have to decide one of two things. Either you're willing to sell your soul, which is also not, I mean, if you can sleep well at night after selling your soul, fine. But if you're going to sell your soul, it better be highly priced.
That's beautiful.
It better be highly priced, right? Don't sell your soul for peanuts. Don't do that, because your soul is very valuable. That is if you really must sell your soul. I would recommend you don't sell your soul. Because as a person, one of the things you have is your word, and your word it should really be your bond, right? That if you promise your followers that I will always share with you genuine content, share genuine content, right? And that means if a client comes to you and they're selling an ingenuine product, say no. Not because you don't want their money, but you owe your followers genuine content, right?
The product might not be ingenuine, but it might be like, let's say if you're working with, let's say, tourism board, and so you're dipping your toe into like government activities. And so now your opinions might be colored by, not necessarily even colored by, but like you're limiting yourself as an opinionated person. So is it a thing of like, you walk into that room and you say, by the way, you guys, I'm coming on board, but I'm going to still say what I need to say when that time comes?
Yes. The only person that can gag you is yourself. That's the only person that can muffle whatever you want to say. That when there's a gig for you to promote Uganda, right? Destination Uganda as a beautiful country. The honest truth is it's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. There's a lot to sell about this country. That's the honest truth. But the other truth is that there's a lot of stuff that's going south in this country. And that's also the honest truth, right? And I've been in a similar position personally, right? Because I'm a traveler, I move around a lot, I tell stories, I go to places and I experience, I get a very good experience. I go to, let's say, Seziba Falls, right? Or I go to Aru Falls and it's beautiful and it's breathtaking and I tell a very good story and it goes out there. Somebody calls and they're like, hey, by the way, I would like to go to Seziwa, tell me about the prices, and share these things. And they're like, but so now why were you abusing the government? I'm like, there's two things can be right. The country can be very beautiful. The government can be horrible. Those two things, it's possible. They can be there at the same time, right? But also, people need to disassociate themselves from this belief that if I say something bad about the country, it means that I hate the country. No, it just means you see a pothole. That's a bloody pothole. You can see this right there, right? What's that sugarcoat about that? It's right there, yeah? I think we need to embrace a lot more truth. And I also believe stories that are told in truth are stories that are easier to accept and embrace. For example, if I'm telling you about my trip to say Kidepo, I went to Kidepo. I spent 2 days on the road. Why? I got there, the road was horrible. It's the truth. I go to Kidepo and I struggled with mobile money because getting a mobile money spot was a challenge. It's the truth. And then when I had my game drive, it was beautiful. It's also the truth. I'm telling you my entire experience, right? I don't want to leave out certain things because they may, so that tomorrow when you're experiencing, you go prepared. You go knowing I have cash. You go knowing I'm going to spend some time on the road. If it has rained, I have to kill time. You go knowing that the experience will be beautiful, it will be breathtaking. But you go also knowing that, in the evening, there might be security challenges in certain areas. Like you have to have all that information. The only way you can have that information is if I tell you the honest truth. The truth is, it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Do you think the space is saturated or people who are interested in joining are free?
Like social media generally? It can never be saturated. It can never be. Because every day there's a new platform.
Right.
There's a new platform that's created. So you can never be at a point and you're like, it's saturated. No. There's a new platform that's created. But also, we live in a very interesting era where the digital space is very dynamic. It's changing every day. What you knew as gospel truth a week ago is no longer it today. Things have changed. And so I think everybody owes it to themselves to first of all open their minds, be open-minded to new experiences, new forms of living, basically a new world out there. And what that does is there is a world of opportunities that today, if you said you want to get online and pick a niche, there are infinite options of niches you can pick. And every niche you can have very many people in that niche. So the issue about saturation doesn't even arise for me. Because, for example, if I say now in Uganda, do you know a content creator who specifically produces content on shoes? Do you know any? You see?
No, I know people who sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by that I mean a person who has dedicated all their content to just talking about shoes, right? Shoes, fit, the right kind of shoes, the right, like that kind of, that person is not there. So that's a space that is waiting for somebody. There's just too many things you can embark on. Too many. The saturation should never, ever arise.
So do you think it might be a thing of like people just copy and say that this is
and people have the assumption that since this is what is trending, since everybody is dancing on TikTok,
I also have to dance
on TikTok, right? That's why the saturation comes in. You're like, why is everybody dancing? Why is everybody dancing? But must everybody dance? Not necessarily. You can be the kind of person who creates content around philosophy on TikTok. I've seen that. You can be a person who creates content around mental health on TikTok. You can be a person who creates content around women's bodies. You can be a person who creates content around men's bodies. There's 1,001 things you can do that other people have not done. So the issue of saturation, the issue of saturation only comes because everybody's trying to do the same thing. But if you branched out, oh my goodness, you'd be shocked.
The options are endless.
Yes. You're the kind of person who reviews books on TikTok. Or the person who reviews movies. Or the person who reviews music. Or the person who reviews concerts. Or there's just so much. Everybody wants to do the same thing. So saturation, that one didn't even arise. Yeah, there's a lot to do.
And then when it comes to, going online and post, like the entire process of like posting and getting the feedback and whatnot, like it starts that whole dopamine kind of loop. How does one cope with that whole situation and make sure it doesn't get to an unhealthy level?
And I suppose that is the most fundamental question we have to ask ourselves today, right? That dopamine there is when that rush comes and the body feels it the first time, it's like, I need more of this. Feels it again, I need more of it. And unfortunately for us, the more of it you feel, the more of it you want, right? And again, the more of it you want, the less better it makes you feel, right? Which means if you needed 2 likes to make you happy, right? You need 3 likes to make you excited. Tomorrow you will need 3 likes to make you happy, 4 likes to make you excited. Tomorrow you'll need 5. Now, on day 8, if you get 3 likes that originally made you happy, you now feel depressed. So that's the challenge, right? It has this compounding negative effect that the more you get, the more you want. The more you want, the more you need. The more you need, the less it makes you feel good. So one of the things that I do, or that I've done for a very, very long time, is I'm very tough on myself, especially regarding social media, because it is where I make my money. So I have to be very, very tough on myself around it. I have hours when I don't interact with my phone. Personally, just to sort of remind myself that I am me without this phone. Right. And in the early days, in the beginning, it's very hard because your fingers are itching. Your mind is like, bro, there's a like there you're missing. There's some comments you need to jump on. In the beginning, it's tough. But it gets to a point where the mind, it starts getting used. It's like, you know what? It's fine. Those likes are not going to go away. I'll find them. The comments, I'll find them. If somebody absolutely needed me, this phone would be ringing. But it's not ringing, so we're good, right? You try it one time, you try it again. Then you get to a point where you can sit there and look at the phone and say, whoever is sending comments or whatever, I'll check them out later this evening at 8 p.m. And you move on with your life and you're fine, right? So even at 8 p.m. when the time comes, your mind knows that there are so many things I've had to accomplish outside of this phone. This phone is just another thing. But there are other things I've done. I had to meet people. I had to go for lunch with somebody. I had to share a drink with somebody, which are all good things I have done. So this phone is just another thing. right? And when your mind gets used to that, you get to a point where it no longer bothers you, right? So when you open and you see there's one like okay, cool, we move on. Next, like it's no longer, your life no longer hinges, it no longer relies on what's happening online, because you know what's happening online is happening whether you are there or you're not. Carry on with your life. And you know, the other thing that I always tell people about that that dopamine thing, because it brings in the conversation around addiction, right? That addictions, the way addictions normally work is they start small, you know, and they build. But the only enabling factor in that addiction is you. It's not external, it's very internal. If you are content with who you are as a person, you don't need the world to validate you, right? So the first and most important person you need to impress is you, right? So if you look in the mirror and what you see, you like, yeah? You're like, I'm happy with this person, I'm happy with where they are. I don't need external validation to make me feel happy, right? Tell that to yourself today, tomorrow, over and over and over. You get to a point where now, actually, you're very sort of content. You're very self-aware. You know that I don't need that external sort of, you know, pleasure or whatever. So once that happens, now when that external pleasure comes, you have to always disassociate yourself from it. These are now the breaks I'm telling you about. That when that external validation comes, because it will come, like by the Beewol, I like this thing of yours, I like this, I like. Give yourself time, distance yourself from it, so that you always keep sort of gravitating back to reminding yourself that I am enough as Beewol. So that thing remains external, right? Give yourself a break. Then when it starts coming, give yourself a break again. Like always keep pushing, keep it at arm's length, so that your mind, your body, your soul gets used to it being an external thing that you can live without. So the validation is from inside of you, right? Inside of you. And then eventually, if people out there keep saying, you know, we like you, we like this stuff, we like ABC, we like all these things about you and whatnot, which is natural. Human beings, they will give you the flowers, you know, on the internet. The thing you need to understand about the internet is these are people out there who have very little bearing on your life. They don't determine your worth. You determine your worth. So when somebody online comes and says, you're a beautiful person, that should not be the definition of who you are. The definition of who you are should come from within, right? So when they say you're a beautiful person, oh, thank you. But let it not be that thing that makes your day.
Confirmation, so and so said I was beautiful, so I am beautiful. Yeah.
Why I say that is because the same way the world sort of puts you on a pedestal is the same way they bring you down. So if you give them the power to make you feel good, you've also given them the power to make you feel bad. So it's sort of a left arm, right arm situation, that when you give them something with the left arm, they will take with this arm as well. So if you allow them to make you feel good about yourself, you've given them the weapons to make you feel bad about yourself. Take that away from them. Always distance yourself, right? When they say good things, give it a bit of a distance. Give yourself a break. Give it, because there'll be bad things that also come. And when those bad things come, it's easier for you to give them a distance. But if you haven't practiced that, when good things are said about you, you'll celebrate and you have this good time. When bad things are said about you, you're going to go under your bed and hide and be like, oh my goodness, I'm such a horrible person. So you have to learn to do that. That the internet is just people in a marketplace who don't know you. They're just yelling all these things. The person who knows you is yourself.
You know, there's I had a friend who was just getting into content creation, very fresh, like a year ago. And they're trying to navigate all these things. And they're like, why is this not working? Why is this? I'm like, oh no, you've just started. Please just keep going. And like the biggest thing I kept telling this person was like, please ignore like the thing that you just made. Look at the next thing. Like just keep going. Because you have no idea which which of them is going to be the thing that actually catches on, if it catches on. Yeah.
And I mean, historically, there's very few people who have hit gold on the first try. Very few, if any.
Yeah.
Most people go through it. They really, really go through it, you know. There are people who post 150 videos before the 151st now makes it.
Right.
And then when you go back to all those videos, there's 2 likes, 1 like, 2 comments, 5 dislikes, 1 like. There's horrible things. But when you stay the course, right, and you stay true to that thing that you want to be, eventually, because you learn, you get better, right? Like, okay, so last time my lighting was poor. I need to change this. I need to. So that time my caption wasn't good enough, right? Yeah. Maybe I need to, after I've shot the video, I need to go move around, then come back and rewatch it. Maybe I need to change my microphone. Maybe like all these things, you learn them. So allow yourself to fail, because if you don't fail, you're not going to learn them. Go through this horrible time where you post this video, there are 2 likes, and you go back and rewatch it yourself. You're like, but this is poor. This is poor quality. I need to do better. I need to get a better phone. I need a better stand. Did I position it well? Was I dressed well? Did I, like, ask yourself these questions. That's the process of growing. Eventually, you come to a point where it is second nature to you. Like, you know the right lighting, you know the right position, you know the right caption. Like, everything is perfect. That time doesn't come in a week, a month. It comes after a period of time. So give it time. Give it time.
Abso-freaking-lutely, by the way, because people get discouraged and they're just like, oh my goodness, maybe this isn't for me, and da 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 da. But then it's just like,
and self-doubt is your mind protecting you against yourself. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because your mind is always looking for ways to make you a better person, right? And that's why you have fear. That's why you have self-doubt. Fear is your mind just telling you that place is not good for you. We don't know why, but it's just not good for you. It's warning you, right? So self-doubt is your mind telling you, you know what? You can't do this thing. Because your mind wants you to do things that you're good at only, right?
Prove it that you can.
Yes. The reason why you learn and practice and do these things is to tell the mind that I'm not good at this thing, but I intend to be good at it. Right? I intend to be good at it. So the self-doubt, it's not necessarily, it's always a good thing at the beginning, right? Like, but can I manage this thing? These guys have done their video and they have 3 million likes. Will I ever get there? So it's just your mind trying to protect you from failure, right? But you see, without failure, you're not going to learn anything, right? So you have to also tell the mind that, yes, we are not very good at this thing, but we're going to try. We're going to keep trying. And when you do that, the mind is a very fluid thing, right? It can very easily be convinced. Very, very easily. The only way you convince your mind that you will be good at something is by doing it over and over. Doing it over and over. Just do it over and over. Because the mind will start saying, okay, so it will start by telling you can't do this thing. You do it against like, then it will tell you, by the last time you did, you failed. When it tells you that, you're like, oh, so why did I fail? Because of A, B, C, D. So you fix that. Then you do it, you're like, by the last time you did it, you got only 2 followers. So why did I get 2 followers? Because I didn't push here, I didn't do this, I didn't advertise, I didn't. So you start fixing those problems. Your mind will now come to a point where it has been swayed and it will say, by the way, you know what? This thing, you're the best person at this thing. And once you get to that point, you're done. You're really done. Because there now the mind has bought into this thing. And it's now like every time you touch something and you're going to do it wrong, it's really, no, don't do that. This is what we're supposed to do. Because now it's on board with you. The mind is it's a machine that can be engineered to do and think anything.
Have you dealt with self-doubt yourself?
I'm a human being. What are you trying to say?
Like, I want to know that specific.
Even Clark Kent has moments of self-doubt. And yet he shouldn't. This is a dude who's all powerful. Yes. This is a dude who has moments of self-doubt. So who am I? A mere Beewol. Like, come on. Self-doubt, I've had it a lot, very many times. And as I said, I use it as a launch pad Self-doubt is just me. I know that self-doubt is my mind trying to protect me from failure, right? And that's okay. That's healthy. But the only way I can override it is by now asking, so why don't I think I can do this thing? What don't I have? What facilities do I not have to be able to do this thing? So then I get those facilities. So what experience do I not have to be able to do this thing? Then I get that experience. What expertise do I not have? Then I get that expertise. And before you know it, the mind is like, by now you have all the weapons to do this thing, so do it. Yeah. So self-doubt is, use it.
Yeah.
Use it. Self-doubt, fear, use it. Yeah.
Recently you got back into corporate space.
Yeah.
But still.
Oh, good. Yeah. Not fully. Yeah. So, yeah, there's I didn't necessarily get fully back into corporate space. Because I don't think I was ever cut out for it. Yeah. I've always been against sort of capitalism, and I'm always against the man, for lack of another word. But when somebody sees who you are and they're like, you know what, I like your skill set. I want you to bring your skills and help me build this thing. I say, okay, how do we work together? For me, I come from this area where I've been a freelancer. I've been doing my thing my own time. If I feel like I want to be creative at 2 a.m., so be it. If I sleep up to 11, if I wake up at midday, like for me, I'm very loose. And it's like, okay, for me, I'm normally a 9 to 5, but how do we meet in the middle? So, okay, so what times work for you? So we come to some sort of common ground, because I never want to lose who I am. Right. I never want to lose who I am. I love waking up at 4 a.m. to watch basketball, right? That's not going to change. Yeah. So any job I get into, I have to factor that in. I have to factor that in, right? So at 8, 9 a.m., I'm probably going to be unavailable, right? So whatever job I get into, whatever gig I get into, that has got to be considered for me. Yeah. So when that negotiation happens, the person is like, okay, we can accommodate this, we can do this, can you do this, I can do that, let's stretch this, and we come to something that works for me. And, you know, the dream they're chasing is a dream that I love. I'm like, you know what, really, this is very easy for me to say yes to. Yeah. And also, it's not typically 9 to 5. It's got very flexible hours, and it's not Monday to Friday. It's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like it really works for me. Yeah. You know, so while most people will say I got into 9 to 5, perhaps I did, but I still feel like it's not the traditional 9 to 5. It's just that I saw the dream somebody was chasing, and I'm like, I love that dream. Let's see how we can do something together, and there we are. And bills have to be paid. True. Bills have got to be paid.
Yeah. Tell me more about it, though, because it's very confusing. At least when I first got to know about Social Gems, I was just seeing Christine Nambera, you know, with a T-shirt on. I was just like, okay, what does that mean? What does that do?
Well, Social Gems is it was born out of the idea to create like a Tinder of sorts, right? But a Tinder for content creators and brands. Meaning, if you're a content creator, you get onto the platform, you tell the platform, this is the kind of content I do, these are the platforms I'm on, this is how I speak my language, these are the things I do. Then a brand gets on, it's like, this is a product we're pushing, this is the kind of language we like to use, these are the platforms we like to be on. Then the app matches you, right? So the content creator is able to get work with the brand is able to get work with the content creator. That was the birthplace of Social Gems, right? And it fits perfectly into who I am, because that is sort of my area of operation, right? But the product has since morphed. It's now becoming bigger. You know, the dream is becoming bigger into some kind of agency, right? Where you need content creators, you don't know how to get influencers, you don't know how much influencers charge, you don't know what return on investment looks like. You have your money, you're seeing everybody's using influencers, you're like, who are these people? Where do you get them? How do you measure their success? How do you deal with them? So all of that shebang, right? Or you're a content creator and you're like, but I do my good content. I've never found a brand. Nobody has ever called me for a gig. I have all these followers. Where do I get them? You know, you don't know what are the best times to share content, what kind of content are people consuming, what's trending right now, what platforms should I be on, should I Should I go down the niche? Should I? All those questions. So it's become now a bigger sort of thing. And it's becoming bigger because what eventually we want to do is to be able to give content creators a lot of freedom, knowledge, and the ability to not forget who they are, and not necessarily jump on every trend because people, this is what's trending, let's jump on this, let's jump on. No, want people to stick to what they love genuinely, what they can do comfortably, what they prefer. Forget about all those trends because even in your particular niche, there are things that other people cannot do. Be very good at those things. I always insist people should pick something and be so excellent at it that you're a reference point, right? As opposed to being in an area where there are 100 other people, and if people say, give me a name off the top of your mind, your name is like number 62nd. You don't want to be that. Pick a niche. People have not gone into it. Be the best at it. So when there's a presentation in a boardroom and your name is not there, guys are like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. Be that person, right? But you can only be that person with time. So that's sort of what Social Gems is doing at the moment.
I saw some events, like kind of community building with the content creators.
So we had we call it a Gem Connect, where we had, some content creators to come around and just have a good time with us. It was a paint and sip, just sort of hear what each person is doing, see how we can grow each other and basically network. Because one of the things that content creators need to embrace a lot more is networking. Networking is a very good sort of fertilizer for growth, especially if you want to be a very good content creator, because you don't know everything, right? You don't know everything and you're not excellent at everything, but there are other people who are good at other things. Now, the thing you're very good at, if you put it on the table, this person brings the thing they're good at, they put it at the table. Another person brings, you build a very wonderful, majestic thing that now you can leverage to make big bucks. Because, for example, I'm a writer. That's my trade of origin, right? I can't dance on videos and stuff. But there's another person, they can dance very, very well, but they can't write a script, right? And then there's another person, they can't write a script, can't dance, but they can dress you. Like they can make you look killer, right? Then there's another person who's like, I can't do any of those things, but I have machines, I have equipment. So when all of us get together, you can see how we can produce a product that is beautiful, right? So every person contributes. What we're trying to do is encourage that networking. So you get the best of you, get the best of that person, come together. And in coming together, if I'm very good at scripting, right, or writing, and I'm not good at, say, videography, and I sit down with a videographer and we exchange notes, I will learn a thing or two, right? I'll learn a thing or two. They will learn a thing or two from me as well. When you're writing a script, start this way, do this, do that, add this, remove this, look at this, pick examples, like all that stuff. Then also them on their end will be like, whenever you're shooting a video, I don't know, portrait, landscape, whatever, lighting, all this shit. Like, so we exchange and eventually tomorrow you become a better version of yourself, because that's what we want to do. Yeah.
Okay, I'd be really interested to see where it goes, because it's something that hasn't really been.
I know, by the way, because it's a bit of a new thing, right? But also it's an area that is highly unregulated, for lack of another word. But it's also a very rich area. It's got a lot of opportunity, because there's many content creators I've seen out there who are really good. But they become a bit disillusioned because maybe brands are not approaching them, or brands are approaching them and paying them peanuts, and yet they're putting in a lot of work. Or there's a gig plug somewhere who's chewing all their money and giving them peanuts. Or like there's all these things happening, right? And I feel like these content creators just need to hold their hand, tell them, stay the course. This thing you're doing is not a bad thing. Just change this, add this, remove this, just add this, and you'll be better. And sometimes that's all you need. Somebody's posting YouTube videos and they're wondering, why am I not getting any followers? Why are people not watching my videos? Yet all they needed perhaps is the right captions. Tag the right accounts. Use the right hashtags. Share your link in the right places. And that's it. Maybe that's all they need. You know, or another person is shooting videos, and they're wondering why is it that whenever I shoot my videos, I put in a lot of work, they're good and whatever, but when I share them, nobody likes them. Maybe nobody has told them about, say, a hook. Like, you know, when you're starting your video, first few seconds, get people's attention. Like, nobody has told them that. And they just need to tweak a small thing, and they'll be excellent. You know, so yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there. We're there to help people.
Yeah. Clearly. Thank you so much, Beewol, for sharing and like actually being candid and telling us all the tidbits when it comes to that space of influencing, because it's something people are very curious about right now and getting into. So
I just worry that people might sort of, you know, the content creation is a very fun thing. It's a very fun thing. It's a very interesting thing. But it can be very demanding. It can be very demanding, and it can suck a certain life out of you if you're not aware, if you're not conscious. It can suck a life out of you, and your entire life revolves around this TikTok account or this X account, and then the dates, let's say, suspended. You know, you go into depression, and so what part of what I try to do is to give people this belief and understanding and appreciation of life outside of social media. You know, meet people, network with people, see how to grow yourself as a person. Because when you grow yourself as a person, it's easier for you to sort of translate that energy onto your social media platforms. Because if you're a toxic human being who doesn't learn, who doesn't associate with people well, it's hard for you to be a good person online. Yet you can have these two different personas and whatnot, but there'll always be bits of you that filter through to your content, and people will be like, this guy is a narcissist. They'll be like, this guy is a narcissist by your posts and whatnot. So be a better person first. Be a good person first. Learn who you are, what you're good at, what you're not good at. Be better at those things, right? Be a person who's teachable. Right? Who's teachable. A person who is willing to get better, right? And then bring that onto your persona online. And I can guarantee you'll just make shitloads of bucks of money. You'll succeed.
Okay. And with that, guys, I think we can wrap it up here. See you next week. If you like this video, there's more where that came from. You could check out this video over here, or even the channel itself, to see what else is there for you to watch. Okay, see you next time.